we are back with some more leaks for AEW Fight Forever, and things are looking real saucy. Once again though, a massive shout out to Hang 'em High. They have been doing God's work lately on Twitter, dropping all this content, even risking THQ sniping their ass. Oh, and speaking of which, THQ, don't snipe me, because if you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could ever imagine. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, I'm just messing around. Now this right here is a clip of Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Wardlow, and this is one of the best sequences I've seen in this game so far. Look at this, the Tope Suicida over Hangman, pulling down the rope. Speaking of Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, once again we got to see this clip right here of them hitting the last call. As you can see, Hangman and then Kenny with that beautiful clockwork right there, running back the clock with those two. Go back to when they were AEW Tag Team Champions. Of course, nowadays they're on the same page again. Another great thing that we have in AEW Fight Forever is of course the weapon, the thumbtack, which seemingly by all the gameplay we've seen pretty much instantly bust wide open your opponent, which is pretty awesome. You know, this game ain't gonna shy away from the blood, but I know some people were worried about the thumbtacks possibly, you know, being taken out of the game at some point. But seemingly from this little leaks gameplay clip right here, they're still in the game, so we should be good come June 29th. We've also got this clip right here of Andrade and Malachi, where he does the cross-legged taunt and you can just pin him straight off it. Why not? Also, another thing that you will absolutely love to see once again coming from Hang 'em High, the GOAT. We've got some comparisons on the PS5 entrance and the Switch entrances, and you know, between PS5 gameplay and Switch gameplay, which I know is going to be a huge thing that people want to see. Seemingly, and very positive by the way, is that the Switch version doesn't seem like that much of a downgrade. Like obviously, you know, there's less FPS than you can get on like PC or PS5, but overall, it's not that much of a downgrade, which is really nice to see. From the Switch gameplay that I'm showing you and the Switch gameplay that I've seen so far on Twitter and everything, it's definitely not going to be as bad as 2K18 on the Switch. So, I mean, I know the bar was very low, of course, but still. We also got some in-game footage on the Switch as well, in terms of, you know, comparing it between PS5 and Switch with this Moxley and Jeff Hardy gameplay. And we even got some actual gameplay on the Switch version, which as you can see here, again, it doesn't look bad at all. Like any of the gameplay that we've been shown so far on, you know, the actual main consoles, like this clearly is going to run fine on the Switch. And, you know, for anyone that wants to play Fight Forever on a commute or, you know, on the train, this is pretty good. It's very passable. And finally, just in case you were wondering about match types or, you know, match types that might be a little bit more intense, this is how the barbed wire explosion looks like in the exploding barbed wire deathmatch looks on Nintendo Switch. Again, does not look bad at all. But now moving on to a bit of a different thing right here, you can see we've got Wardlow. Essentially what this tweet right here is saying is that for all of us that are about to take our first step into online ranked mode in AEW Fight Forever in a couple of days, how do I say this in the correct way? If you main Wardlow online, you're a bitch. Because seemingly from all the gameplay that we've seen, this Wardlow mother is one of the best people in this game. I also got to give a shout out to these choreography videos that he's been making. Like if we take a look at this between Darby Allin and Penta, like the animations again are so damn smooth. Look at that, lands on his feet. The choreography here is insane. You got a bit of chain wrestling. Like this game just looks so fun. Like, am I wrong? But look at this gameplay. Like it looks so smooth into that. That's insane. Like I think one of the best words I saw that describes the choreography videos in Fight Forever that we've seen so far from these leaks is that it is very seamless. It feels like all the animations we're seeing are very like, you know, there's no delay. It's just smoothly happening, which is really nice, and it's something you need in an arcade wrestling game as well. We also got to see this clip right here between Moxley and Danielson just, you know, exploding each other. They're just training for the next BCC match, you know. We also got to see his signatures as well. You know the Adam Cole moveset by now. It's all about the boom. For Adam Cole, you'll love to see it. There's two animations for that, by the way. One from the back, one from the front. It's a W. We even get to see the Panama Sunrise, which is a springboard, which is nuts. Another thing that we found out is that you can protect yourself with a table, kind of like a protective board right there, real Kill Bill vibe. We also went ahead and found out that Kenny Omega is indeed the strongest wrestler in AEW Fight Forever, which kind of makes sense, to be fair. He is the best bout machine. Also, I cannot believe it took me this long into the video to even talk about it, but as as you can see here in the creation suite for Kenny Omega, we can see that he's got a bunch of attires from, you know, throughout his AEW career and everything. We've got that one from early AEW. We've got the signature pink and black, which is very nice to see. It's great to see that we've got a bunch of actually fire Kenny Omega attires in there, because I was a bit worried from the gameplay we'd seen so far that we only had one, but thankfully there are, you know, a few different ones. And like I've talked about the potential of the item shop, I'm going to talk about it again. When it comes to the item shop, there is a bunch of potential there for attires for people like Kenny and for the Young Bucks, these people that have had, you know, extravagant, you know, attires and everything. It could be lit. We also went ahead and saw this gameplay between obviously the Lucha Bros, where, I mean, take a look at this. They got the fusion. Oh my god. I would very much like to see more Dragon Ball references in this game. It is very much appreciated. I love Dragon Ball, one of my favorites. We got to see this Avalanche one-winged angel, which looks fantastic as well. It's quite literally screaming out for flaming table below it kind of spot. I'm going to take full advantage of the potential that this game is offering me, because of course I come from the olden days. I come from a time and a game that very much cherishes tables and ladders and great physics. So adding on to the creative spots that we got to see, though, we got to see this one right here, a Deadeye into a Phoenix Splash. Absolutely insane. We also got to see another variation on the Buckshot Lariat and the V-Trigger, which is, again, fantastic. Love it. Adding on to what is apparently turning into Hangman and Kenny Omega Appreciation Society, we also got to see this Wii Sports Tennis moment. We found out that Bryan Danielson yells tap if he catches you in a submission hold, which is great. It makes sense. Signature what? Signature Danielson, you know the guy. You know the yes, no, yes. We got to see this bizarre clip of 4 different Jeff Hardys in one match. Apparently in this game, you can go ahead and use like clones of superstar. Oh my god, I said it again. You could use clones of wrestlers in this game. So if you want to have a match full of Jeff or Kenny or Matt or Yuka Sakazaki, you know, you can go ahead and do that. By the way, again, another Dragon Ball reference with the Ginyu Force in this game. I love it. But in the menu, seemingly, this is kind of a hint at possibly us getting, you know, or maybe a tease at the idea of possibly having other tabs. So you've got AEW wrestlers, maybe we have an ROH one, as I've discussed in the past, a New Japan one, which I think both of those are very distinct possibilities, honestly. It makes all the sense in the world. And maybe even Impact or GCW as well, but those feel like more of a stretch. NJPW, they collab with all the time. ROH they literally own, so it makes all the sense. We also did go ahead and find out just how to unlock Brody Lee and Owen Hart in AEW Fight Forever, which is great. With Brody Lee, you've got to go ahead and defeat him in Road to Elite, apparently in the Join the Dark Order storyline for the TNT title. After the match, you complete the secret challenge, and then you can buy Brody Lee for $30k in the AEW shop. And when it comes to unlocking Owen Hart in AEW Fight Forever, you can go ahead and unlock him by playing 100 singles matches in Exhibition, and then after that, you will unlock your first hidden wrestler, and you can buy him for $50k cash from the AEW shop. I guess really what I'm trying to say is, THQ, please don't snipe me. I'm a nice guy.